everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Rebellious Business Show, your weekly midweek pick-me-up where we just have a good old laugh, have some fun, but also talk business. Here with me today, as per, I have the beautiful and wonderful Caroline Antonia, my business partner and partner in crime in most things.
Thank you. Hello. Hi.
I managed to not ask you how you are. I'm really
great.
proud of myself.
Yeah, I think that's why I felt like a bit of a fish out of water. I was like, oh.
Normally, every week, I bring Caroline. Well, whenever I'm introing, I'm like, Caroline, how the devil are you? And we've just been on Zoom, and it feels really weird for Caroline because she's like, yeah, I'm fine. You know I'm fine. Why are you asking me this? And hello to everybody else. It's great to have you guys here.
I don't think you asked me how I was before the show, though. So that would have been, we just jumped straight in and we're like, right, mission, what are we doing? What's the situation? Da-da-da. And so I'm like, okay, now we can socialize.
We go live and it's like, hi, Caroline.
And now you've taken it away.
Oh, how are you, my love? Are you okay?
No, I'm upset, actually. No, I'm good. I am excellent. I am enthusiastic. I am happy. I'm loving to see. We've got some new rebels. I won't say that because I don't actually 100% know if you're new rebels, but there's definitely some fresh faces in the live Zoom audience today. We also have some non-faces. I'd love it for you guys to put the cameras on because this is such a great way to connect with people. That's one of the reasons why we do this show live. We prioritize connection over reach because if we forced everyone to watch us on Facebook, then we would probably get a further reach. But we like to bring people into the live audience because that's how you can build relationships. And we're big on that. It's a great way to get your face out there, get your name in and meet more people. So hello, welcome to people I've not met before on Zoom. And everyone in Facebook, I have now stopped sharing the link because I'm writing the copy for the post in the live on Facebook because you're going to have to sign up outside of that, and now we get some people on the call. But let us know you're here on Facebook.
I'm really confused as to what you just said. You've stopped putting links where? What's going on?
You gotta be you can get the link to join this call through the emails, but if you're watching us on the live, there isn't a link to join today. There might be them. Maybe it's next week. Anyway,
I bet Jennifer's put it in the comments. It's routine.
Probably. But I'd love for you guys to, if you're watching on the live anywhere, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, we're streaming across a few different platforms, is make yourself known. We're really big on helping our rebels get visibility. We want to help you guys find clients, connect with each other, and being present in a community of business owners is a really good way to do that. So guys, let us know you're here, say hello, happy Wednesday, and send the rebel emoji. This is our rebel emoji. So yeah.
No, I love how it gives love hearts on the. I haven't got my reactions turned on.
Oh, did it do it? Should I get? I've hidden my face because I'm too vain.
Yeah, we've got reactions. By the way, I just want to hijack. I'm going to be the hijacker for the next 2 minutes. I want to celebrate something, and first and foremost, I'm going to celebrate with the sound effect that just sets the tone for the celebration. I am continuing to talk because I can't find the sound effect that I want. Damn it, where is it?
You're gonna let me take charge.
Hang on, crowd. Right, that was that was such a limp sound effect. Anyway, never mind. I just want to celebrate with everybody here that we did something insane this week. Last week, actually. Feels like this week because I worked all weekend. I haven't stopped yet. We launched Rebellious Business Network 2.0. Hands up if you've seen that. Hands up if you've seen that we've launched that. Awesome. Hands up if you're in that, if you joined us. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of that. It means a lot. There will be a lot of people going, why are they charging for the Rebellious Business Network? It was a free Facebook group and now it's $7 a month to be a part of it. And there are some valid reasons. And I haven't spoken into them. I thought I might just quickly share them and also give my huge thanks to everybody that has jumped on and supported us and been a part of this new change. We are taking things up a gear. We're taking things up a notch inside the Rebellious Business Network. You know, if you're not growing, you're dying. And quite frankly, the Rebellious Business Network Facebook group hasn't really been doing that much in terms of growth for a while. Yes, we've been getting people in there. Yes, connections have been being made in there, but in terms of taking it to the next level, we've been quite limited because it's Facebook. But we have moved platforms so that we have more ability to take things to the next level. And now we have a calendar of events with Zoom links inside because it's on the school platform. It's easier to do that. Whereas on Facebook, we rely on emails delivering Zoom links, and it's just all a little bit more haphazard. Also, there's way more visibility because I find that you guys post in the Rebellious Business Network to network with each other, and then your posts get like a 10-person reach, whereas we're already seeing a much larger reach in comparison on the new school platform. And we obviously have to pay for the school platform, and also we have hired someone to come and host the live calls, because another thing we want to do is run workshops for you guys and create so many more opportunities for you to connect. Rather than just having a monthly networking event and a feed to connect in, we have co-working. We have another secret networking event, which is happening in just a couple of days, tomorrow actually. And so there's loads happening in that group. Just wanted to, not pitch this here, but just say a huge thank you to everybody that's come on over to that. And for everybody else, if you're interested in finding more about our new network, well, I don't know where you've been because I've been shouting like a crazy person, but I will share a link so that you can go and check that out. But yes, we do have one issue, Caroline. I think Jennifer might be about to run out of battery. We should probably call her out for awkward questions.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. I like this. We've got some engagement on the Facebook, but let's bring Jennifer out for our first part of today's show. She's on a journey.
I am. I'm trying to charge my laptop. Bear with me, ladies.
The rebels know I really struggle. I keep so I once left my charger, my Mac charger, in the gym, and I went back and it was gone. And I was like, oh. And ever since that day, I've had a nightmare with wires. You've got to have the Apple wires because they just break otherwise.
Well, this is an Apple wire, so it's me.
Oh man,
I know.
We'll take that back then.
I'm going to have to. Right, bear with me. Waffle batter needed for 20 seconds.
I'm going to take the waffle batter.
Is awkward questions.
Okay, so we are now working on the script for the show, but anyway, let's get into what is happening now. So we've got a few sections today of the show. We've got awkward questions where Jennifer comes forward and doesn't just ask us awkward questions, apparently gets us to go through our phones and reveal our private lives to people, as of last week, just to kind of break the ice, help you guys get to know the faces behind the brand, and just to I don't know, have some revelry and put us on the spot. We also have a training session as well. That's the middle part of the show.
I'm going to have to.
Training. And the last part is where we play Rebel in the Spotlight, which helps showcase the rebels of the Rebellious Business Tribe and help you get to know more people as well. It's all about connections and visibility and a flipping good time. That's what we do here. So right now is your chance, if you are in the Rebellious Business Network, to submit, I suppose it's not just even awkward questions, or awkward things for Cordelia and I to be subjected to every Wednesday morning to put the heat on us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm nervous. I
Lovely.
should have checked my history.
No, you're good. You're good for today, I promise.
Yeah, just for context for the newbies here, last week, Jennifer's awkward question was, what was the last thing you searched on Google? And you have to prove it or something like that. And so it was like, oh, okay. Luckily, I have been searching.
Have your phones at the ready. There's no cheating. Let's see what you last Googled. Sorry?
Oh, we're not doing that.
No, that was last week.
Oh,
Caroline's reliving the trauma. Okay.
Bless you. Okay, ladies. Right. The question is from Hillary Hills. Who would like Hillary Hills?
If this isn't Jack Whitehall's mother, I'm disappointed.
I don't know what Jack Whitehall.
His mother's called.
I don't know what his mother's called, but anyway, continue. Hillary Hills.
But Hillary Hills.
Okay.
That's a bit made up anyway, but let's see. So her question for you both is, have you ever tried to impress someone and it completely failed? What happened?
Definitely. But
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay, I like this. Let's go to.
I haven't got anything yet, so don't come
No,
to me.
I'm gonna go with Caroline.
I mean, I have got the ultimate story, but it's not that good, but it's the first thing that comes
Is
to
it
my mind.
awkward? Is it awkward?
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah, let's go for it.
But to be fair, I was young. So my first ever date, right? Firstly, what happened is
Is there any ukulele serenading involved?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but
Actually, I don't think you failed to impress on that occasion.
I don't think I did fail to impress. That was brilliant. But there's always a date story with me. Right. So basically, I was 16. Anyway, there was this guy, there was this shoe shop in Uxbridge. Oh God, I shouldn't give details. Anyway, there was a shop in Uxbridge and this really hot guy used to work there. And I remember going in there once and I was being really silly. Like, I think I was being really juvenile and just, I don't know, making it, I don't know. I was just acting up just to have laughs, being an actual class clown. Anyway, so he asked me out and I was like, oh my God, okay. And so so then I was absolutely dumbfounded that I was only sort of acting up because I was like, anyway, it doesn't matter. So I really fancied this guy and he asked me out on a date and I was like, well, that's a turn of events. So I then went out at 16. This guy knocked at my front door and said, hi, is Caroline there? Like really like made it this like official thing. And we went to and it drove me to we went to this restaurant in Uxbridge called Taipan, I think it was called. Anyway, it's like a buffet, Chinese buffet or whatever. And so I'm sat there I was just absolutely terrified. And long story short, walking up to the buffet, there's a step. I fell right off it. Fell over on my first date in a restaurant with this guy that I massively fancied, was wearing a dress, so I'm pretty sure, bum was probably out, and just jumped up, grabbed loads of things from the buffet and just sat down. And I was like, mortified. And so I was obviously, the whole thing was me just making a show. Like I was trying to impress him in the shop and obviously dolled up to the nines for the date. I just couldn't even talk to him for the rest of the day. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. Done.
Oh, the poor guy. He must be like, what did he do wrong?
No, I fell over in the restaurant. I think he was like, oh God. But I did actually see him years later in a oh God. Yeah, I saw him years later in a swimming pool and I was swimming along and he was behind me and I was like, oh my God. And I was just falling apart. I was like, I can't be here. Anyway, so yeah, that was horrible.
Oh.
So yeah, that's my story.
Oh, bless you. I feel the embarrassment, Caroline.
Yeah. Dates are these really high pressure environments where you're trying to impress someone. I also have another example where I shot peas across the room by accident when I was in Nando's because like my spoon was in like some peas. Again, the first date with someone I really fancied. My spoon was in peas, put my hand down, but dong.
That reminds me of a scene from Pretty Woman, the film.
Which scene?
Where she's at the table and she's, she doesn't know how to use the.
Oh, yeah. Like the snail
and he catches it
across the room. Yeah. But I feel like she did it in a really cool way.
She did, to be fair.
So it's probably always going to be date stories because they're just.
That's it, John. Slippery little suckers.
That's it. That's the line. That's the line. So
thanks, John. I really appreciate that.
It's mine. It's my story.
Okay.
I'm struggling to think of something. I think this is something that I'm scared of. Okay. Like genuinely, I think I'm scared of this. I think I play it really cool a lot of the time to try and prevent situations where I'm like being too over the top and accidentally embarrass myself. No,
I don't have a stop button.
I can think of something that wasn't a case where I was trying to impress. I was just trying to keep up. Like I was trying. When you're with a group of people and you're just trying to keep up with them and you're like, shit, like I guess you are trying to impress them by keeping up with them or at least not lose face. I think that's what I was trying not to lose face. I am 5'4". And I was on holiday with 3 other people that are all taller than me. There were 2 guys and a really tall girl. And we were in the Cape Verde Islands, and the waves, like, you can't go swimming in the sea there because the waves are like 10 foot high. So it's actually not okay. Like, you're not allowed. It's a red flag beach. You're not allowed in the water. Well, they decided they were going to jump over the waves. And they were having a great time, and I had to go with them and join in because, you know, obviously, like, otherwise I'm going to lose face. So I'm going to join in, and I jumped over one wave, and it got me, and it threw me to the bottom of the ground, and I like was upside down, and like when I came up, like, oh, like sand everywhere, like snot coming out my nose, and I just quickly sorted myself out and went back in for round 2, and it happened again, and I was like, no, I'm out. I can't do this. Like, the tallness is the fact that maybe that was what was helping them manage to get over these waves. I had no chance. Like, they just took me under. I'm sure there's probably better stories than that, but that is
I've probably got so many. My sister and me, we're kind of class clown types. And I think if anyone's seen me at an event, and Cordelia's seen me, like, around people, I am just so happy. It just fills me up. I'm the true extrovert. I just love being around people, and I don't have a stop. There's a point where I'm around people and like, I'm just getting too excited. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going, I can't stop though. It's like a bit of a drug for me. Like, I just love being around people. And then I'm like, I'm going to ruin this relationship because I'm just so excited and full of energy. So yeah, there's loads of examples where I'm like, oh, took it too far.
I love this, guys. This is great. Keep the questions coming in. Do you want to say something, Cordelia?
I was just going to say, Alex is in the chat asking, how is Cape Verde? Always wanted to go there. I had an awful time in Cape Verde. It was the worst holiday of my life. I am the wrong person to ask. I did not leave the resort. Everybody just wanted to get drunk all day, every day. And it was just dull and boring. And quite frankly, ended in fair amount of arguing. But Cynthia Sereneves, who you guys will see if you ever go to the workshops inside the Rebellious Business Network, she is from Cape Verde, and she knows a completely different side of it. So if you want to find more about that island, then she's the lady to speak to. Okay, cool.
Okay, that's a wrap. I
Okay,
will be dropping the link for awkward questions everywhere on socials, as well as in the Zoom chat.
And
So
guys,
keep them
also,
coming.
oh, sorry, I'm so interrupting.
I know, how rude.
My bad. I'll take back.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
like, also awkward things as well. Like, you know, like last week, Jennifer got us to go for a phone. I'm actually very scared of
Stop
that.
encouraging that behavior.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay, fine. No, just nice, friendly questions. There was a question in the chat. Andy Dobson said, "What would your advice be to your 18-year-old self?" I'm like, that's a nice question.
Okay.
Like, why don't we have awkward questions like that? I was like, that's not awkward at all. It's really, I'd love to answer that. But yeah.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Love this. This is my favorite part of the show.
Cool
Nice.
beans. Well, look, hopefully you managed to charge your laptop. Otherwise,
I know. And so in case I transfer everything over to you, I'm on 7%, so I might drop out.
All right, we've got this.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
Thanks,
cope,
Jennifer.
I hope.
Shout out to Jennifer, everybody. She is just awesome. I can't begin to explain to you how difficult this would have been for her just a couple of years ago to come out on the show and just talk. Now she's completely confident and it's a breeze. And it's just for anybody that is scared of talking on camera and is struggling with that, just know that you just got to get over the hump of that first few times where it's really, really uncomfortable, and just keep practicing, and it does get easier. And actually, just to do a quick plug for a call that is happening today at 12 o'clock inside the Rebellious Business Network 2.0 that I spoke about earlier, John Drinkwater, one of our rebels who has been a part of Toastmasters for a very long time, is doing a speaking on camera confidence session where he will just be carefully go around the room, getting you guys to just talk on random topics. And it's really fun. It's very similar to the impromptu speaking in Toastmasters, if you know what that is. And that is at at 12 o'clock. So go over to that if you feel like you need some support with that. But yeah, shout out to Jennifer because she is epic. And I'm just really, really proud of her for how far she's come in terms of her confidence with that. Caroline,
Yes,
I've got a challenge for you.
Yes.
You have
I already this.
15 minutes to teach something valuable to our dear rebels. I am going to open a timer up so that we can all keep an eye on the time for Caroline and call her out when she has gone over, because she's strict with me and then not strict with herself. No, I'm joking. But you've got 15 minutes to teach the rebels something valuable. Teach us quite a lot of pressure and teach. So teach or remind the rebels of something valuable. What are you going to be talking about today? Brief intro.
Making the most out of business networking events, essentially.
Okay, making the most out of business networking events. Love it.
Yeah, we're going to
Very
be.
on
I'm going to
topic.
get. Yeah. We're going to be talking about. Yeah, I'm trying to help people improve their networking outcomes, essentially. Oh, I like that timer. Okay, it's quite distracting.
I am going to come off spotlight, but you should see the timer in the top right-hand corner. And everybody here, can you help me be in charge of the time as well? We could just unmute and tell Caroline off, and she goes over.
I can see it. I'm just looking at gallery rather than myself, so that's great.
Okay. All right.
So,
on your marks, get set, go.
So today I'm going to be talking about business networking events and how you can make the most of them. And I want to first get into a problem that we see as going to networking events and what is something that commonly comes up. So if any of you have been to networking events, especially in-person ones, hands up if anyone has found that they're bumping into the same people. Like you kind of, yeah, okay. I've already got a few hands going up and the same in the chat. Do you find that you bump into the same people all the time when you go to networking events? And you're like kind of now just getting into a group. I found that there's a few networking events that I've been to that it feels like I'm just kind of more in a sort of business friendship group, which is really great. But we know from what our rebels tell us that most our service-based business owners are looking for clients. And ideally, if they're going to business networking events, the outcome they would like is clients. And so if you're going to these networking events, you end up meeting the same people again and again. You might get the odd client here and there, but because you're going back into this room, the same people are coming again and again, you're not then, you've got the low-hanging fruit. I hate that term, but you've got the people that would be relevant for you. You've got them, and then where'd you go from there? And luckily, by building relationships, you can sort of rely on referrals, and so you're in the mind of other people. But ultimately, you're not going to be able to have that control over getting clients. And what I would like to really go through today is some ways to take more control over your networking experience so that you get in front of more fresh faces regularly, so that you also have these relationship, it's kind of almost strategic relationship building, and also something that's really, really powerful, like the most powerful and impactful thing you can do to enhance your whole networking experience and life. I'm just checking the chat to see if anyone made any comments. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Fabulous. We're all good. Okay. So firstly, I want to get into the fresh faces element. That's the first problem you're going to have with going to networking events. And I think online networking events are really good in the sense that there can be a higher turnover, but there's obviously some setbacks with that as well. But when you're picking the networking events, you shouldn't just be thinking about going to a networking event that is organized as a networking event. This is my first piece of advice. It's to think outside the box and to be more creative with where you're going to network with people. If you stop thinking about, oh, I'm going to go networking at a networking event, and think more about where do I go and connect with people, you might have better outcomes. So as an example, my friend Emma, she is working from home with her business, and she decided she's getting a bit lonely. I'm the same. I struggle to work from home a lot. And she decided to start playing paddle, which is apparently this new thing that's kind of blowing up all over the place, getting really popular. It's a really social sort of game, and it's kind of beginner friendly, easy, and you end up meeting lots of new people. And so my friend Emma invited me to play paddle, because you kind of have to, you create these little, you have a game and people show up, and then you automatically are in this game, and then you start talking to people. And when we went, we ended up having like drinks afterwards and just talking to each other. And really naturally, conversations about business came up, and we started talking about what we do. And I don't remember the last time I went to a specific designated networking event where I'm sat at a table with people and I'm talking about what I do as a business, or like, and it's in this kind of connection. It's in a way where I'm going, oh, this is what I do, and this is how I do it. And someone goes, oh, that's interesting, tell me more. And then I'm exploring that. And the same happens back. And my friend Emma she has her own business, but she's also a PA in a construction industry. One of the guys is big in construction. She ended up organizing a meeting between him and her boss, which is now potentially turning into a £2 million contract, just from going to paddle and just from like connecting with people in person at paddle. It's like, so her boss is so excited. She's got another meeting as well from just connecting with people in this environment. And so her boss is now sending her to a different country to practically go play paddle and to go network, because it's like, this is an amazing opportunity. And the thing that works really well about this is people are there because they're open to connecting. When you're going to a networking event, you're going as someone looking to get clients in an audience of people looking to get clients a lot of the time. I would say we really combat this in the Rebellious Business Networking events. We get like, it's one of the worst way to network with people is to just go and pitch your services. That's not very connecting, and you're just a room of pitches. It's like a kind of echo chamber of pitches. So it's not going to get you very far. So when we do the Rebellious Business Networking events, we set challenges and we set missions, because we're trying to forge those situations where you're sat at a table talking about what you're doing. Like we have a collab session where you have to just in order to even like get anything out of it, you have to talk about what your business problems are with someone else so that you can come together. And that's a really great way of actually building a relationship and having open conversations. So typical networking events, firstly, you're going to be encountering the same people. But secondly, it's not the best way to really get yourself out there. So I really recommend thinking outside the box and going to places where you're just going to meet people and have connections and run into new faces. And that, in that sense, there's an endless amount of places that you can go. Like chess club, I'm going to talk about this soon, writing group, lots of things you can do to go and connect with people. So the first thing is to think outside the box and to go to places that people are just talking and connecting. And also maybe networking events that prioritize connection or prioritize conversations over pitching. And also I would, in terms of that one, is also going to networking events where they have new people coming in. You want fresh faces, really. So that's something I recommend. Go somewhere where you can meet lots of people, have new relationships. You don't have to be in an environment where you're just sort of sat there for an hour and a half, specifically talking about business. It's about thinking outside the box and going to build relationships. We're big on that here. So that's not step one. The first piece of advice is just to get out there. The second piece of advice is about intention and how you approach relationships. So this is a bit of a balancing act in a way. You have to be intentional about what you would like to achieve going into events or your life, right? If you want to get more clients, and you have to be kind of proud that that's what you do and very open about what you do, so that when you get in opportunities, you can speak really openly about who you are, what you do, and that opens up the opportunity to talk business. And this even includes networking events as well. I'm not just saying go into these extra events and building relationships. Don't make it all about business. It's just not a very attractive experience for other people. If you go in, you're making it all about business, you're pitching, you're talking about what you're doing, people are going to be put off by that, and they're not going to be open, even if like your services are needed. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And so if you're going in and you're making it all about business, it's kind of a me show. So you can't do that. You have to go in and prioritize some form of relationship building, and also like being just like happy in your own skin, like in not trying to like get something from the experience except to involve yourself. And so I have a sort of another example of how this is sort of played out. I started going to a writing group, and I go every Tuesday, and it's specifically to be writing. I'm not there to socialize. I'm not there to do anything aside from my writing. And I know in my head, like I run a business networking event and groups. So I know wherever I go, that can come into conversation, and someone can, like, I can just easily give them, I've got like the QR code on my phone, link people to it. It's very easy for me. But I'm going out, and I go to a writing group every week. And the people that run it they have an agency. They have a marketing agency, which is like really interesting for me. And I was like, okay. And there are other people as well. And over the summer, I started to organize, hey, let's do an extra day in the week to do some writing, because I found that was really good to get out of the house. And the people running it were so busy and so swarmed with work that they couldn't work on their own personal projects. And when we were talking, they were quite stressed. And I remember, like, you know, I was like, oh, let's go out for a break at some point. And I was talking to them about it, prioritizing a kind of relationship. And they were revealing to me their business problem. They were overstretched with work, and they were struggling. And what they needed was another copywriter. Now, I'm not a copywriter anymore, but when I was doing freelance copywriting and freelance consulting, that would have been a perfect opportunity for me to be like, okay, yeah, let's talk about this, and we can work together. But I think they revealed how they were feeling, because they were stressed out. They revealed themselves to me because we built this relationship, we built the trust, we're in an environment where it's non-threatening. They know I'm not going to pitch to them. And so they shared what was going on for them. And so I've got into this environment with a spirit of like, I want to just invest and get to know people. I want to do my own thing and work on my own project. And while I'm mingling, an entry point to potential work has just opened itself up to me. Now, obviously, I didn't pursue that because it's not relevant for me. But I remember thinking like, oh, I don't remember opportunities throwing themselves like at me like this before. And so that's another thing, is like creating those relationships. And also, I felt magnetized. I remember when I found out that they had agencies, because I got this intention. I'm like, oh, this seems like my type of person. Like these seem like the type of people I want to connect with. And in my head, I'm like, I want to get them in my network, right? But I'm not prioritizing that. So that's the next thing, is like, even if you're going to networking events, like you shouldn't go there thinking, I want to pitch my services. It's great that you're going, I want to have a client, I want to come out with some tangible business results. But ultimately, you're dealing with people, and people do not want to feel like it's a transactional relationship and it's all about pitching. People want to feel like they're actually liked, and they're wanted, and they're admired, and they're valued. And they also like a bit of mystery as well, or mystique, as kind of blending them together. So spending time like getting to know people, and also just working on your own stuff is really, really important. That's why one of the things about networking events that's really difficult is like, it feels like you're all there to gain something, rather than like, there's not really much space to be like, I'm just here to have to live, and I'm here doing my own thing. So yeah, that's another thing. Like, try and not make it all business. Try and make it much more people focused, and connecting with them in that way. And then once you've built a rapport, you can start like prodding and being like, you know, what is it that you're struggling with? What is it that you do? And at that stage, you know, if they'd have said to me, oh, I'm looking for a copywriter, oh, I'm running low on time, I just realized. Anyway, fine. Third and final suggestion is that you need to have your own network. You need to create your own network. You need to start positioning yourself as a leader of a community that is relevant to your business. So we teach a lot about creating online tribes and creating a tribe funnel, what we call it about. But like, if you can start creating a network and attracting people to you to gather over this kind of thing. Like if you imagine this environment that I've suggested you create, or like you go to, if you create this environment for yourself, then people are automatically going to look up to you. It's going to give you a lot of authority. It's going to give you a lot of exposure. It's going to give you a lot of visibility. So you want to start attracting people into your network and creating your own tribe in that sense. And, you know, we do this with tribe funnels, but as an example, which is working out really well for me, I'm running from going to these writing groups, and I saw how much progress I made and the relationships I was building. I decided to launch a co-working group, and I specifically made it so that it was during a time where people who have a normal job wouldn't be able to make it. It's Monday morning at 11 a.m. If you're in an office and you're working for someone, you cannot make that. So, and I've also, the way I positioned it as well is that it's for focus time. Like everyone gets caught up in the busy work. Everyone gets caught up in, you know, the admin side of things and just getting stuff done. But you need to have focus time, and that zone of genius time to move the needle in your business. So I designated a time every week, Monday, 11 to 12:30 to do that. And last week was this one that just gone was the best one. It's taken a little time to build up, but like we had 5 people there. There was a freelance guy turn up, two business owners. And it's like, oh, I'm attracting people. Anyway, so that's the hero timer. That final piece of the puzzle is, if you want fresh faces and if you want to have more like opportunities to get clients, then you have to bring the people to you, and you have to create something that attracts people and builds your own network.
Woohoo! Well done. Just checking in on the chat here. John's saying, go there to listen, not to speak. People love to talk about themselves, so let them. They will think you are great if you do this. I agree. Understanding people have problems in business and in life, being bothered helps. Yeah, great addition there. See if anywhere has hot desks and you can meet new people at the coffee machine. That's a great idea.
Oh, I love this. I love the suggestions. Yeah, really cool.
At the beginning, before you got started, Samantha said, I find most networking pointless. It's a room of people trying to sell to each other. And I agree with that. I think that's something we're really trying to like step away from with our networking events, is to just, it's not how you connect with people. Like, you know, we had this, me and Karen were talking about this recently. We had this analogy that essentially, it's not even an analogy, it's just kind of how it works. You don't remember people because they pitch at you. You remember people because you created a memory with that person. And that is why you remember them, because you created a memory and they are somebody that was in that memory. So if you go to like, you want to be putting yourself in environments where you can create memories with people, right? And that's what we're trying to do with our networking events, is make them fun, create games. Like, we do not hold on to the memory of someone's elevator pitch because it's boring as hell. It's just not something.
I also find it makes you a bit like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, maybe it will be a negative memory. Like, I do have a really negative memory about a networking event that I went to. It was just completely awkward. Like there was a training session with somebody using a projector, sharing how to
overhead projector.
An overhead projector.
No.
And the training was how to use Excel. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. It was like the most boring thing ever. Like the whole environment was just conducive to causing sleep. But yeah, so anyway, and that was great.
I wish I'd spent a bit more time on that last point. I feel like I rushed it through, but I really do think that starting to be the person that brings people to you and starts to create these environments. So for instance, I know that the person who's created that paddle, I'm not saying you should set up a paddle court or whatever, but this guy is now made so many connections and is like, oh, I can't believe how successful this is in more areas than just having paddle clients. Is this person is now like the center of this community. And obviously start small, right? Like you don't have to invest in paddle courts, although if you can, I recommend it because apparently it's amazing for networking. But yeah, bringing people to you, but having them, it's not about me show, but having them connect together over a joint value. It is something people are really grateful for. Like I'm so grateful for that writing community. Like it's really had a positive impact on my life. I've got such a positive association with the people that ran it now. So yeah, if you can do something like that, I would just recommend you just make it relevant to your business in somehow, but not so it's me. It's about helping people connect together, and then your importance is just goes without saying, really. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I feel very on display now. You've put me back as the speaker. Where have you gone? Have you run away again? Oh no, is their internet gone? Oh Lord. I think the internet's gone again. So it's just me flying solo. At least I've got Jennifer still plugged into the internet. But that's the end of the education segment of the show. Now I have to segue into the next part of the show on my own, flying solo. Here she is. She's back in the room. Get someone give this woman a mic. So next part of the show, guys, is
testing
my favorite part. Sorry. You're back. You're here.
I'm back. I'm really sorry. I know you need some like some love and support after you've done that session, and I just rudely walked off to go and get a coffee. No, I didn't. My battery actually died. All this worry about Jennifer's battery dying and my battery ended up dying. But yes, I think that is a subject that we could talk about all day, by the way, because really what we're bringing all of that down to is human connection and how do we connect with people. Final point on it, and then let's move on, which is Russell Brunson. I remember him talking about how he shares on his social media stuff about baseball and other interests that he has because it's a way in which he can connect with people on similar things. And so it's not just about going to networking events to connect with people in different ways and means. You can also bring that to your marketing strategy as well. You know, don't just talk about your niche and your product. Be personal about sharing things that you're interested in, because you might find that you connect with people over that as well. So yeah, with that is, we could make so many spin-offs off of that, Caroline. Thank you very much.
I know. Ian Wilson commented as well, your kids' sports and activities clubs are great. Few opportunities have appeared from these over the years. Oh, Robert Futzel Brassett. Sorry, that is a very easy name to read, but very hard to say. Becoming the chairman of the Friends of the Park has drawn people into me, and it's helped them solve problems and is connecting me and them together. Love that.
Actually, I would love to hear more about Robert on this, because he shared, if you've seen his first video in the video challenge, he talks about groups that he gets involved with for this purpose.
Love that.
Really smart. Cool beans. All right. Well, listen. Now we are going to play a game. Anybody want to have some fun? Should we see if we can I don't know what I was going to say. Basically, what we're going to do now is we are going to get one of our rebels and we are going to put them in the spotlight. And that rebel is somebody who is currently joining us from Wembley, I believe. Oh no, you're not. You're at home. I thought you were at Expert Empires today.
I'm leading at 1.
Aha! Oh,
I love how
it's only Wednesday, isn't it?
I love how we know our rebel schedule.
Yes. Well, I don't clearly, because I got
to see Russell Brunson.
But also last week, Cordelia tried to catch John out because she was like, how did someone pour water on your head when you're 6'7"? She quoted his height at him. I love that. So we like to this, as you can see, we like to build real relationships.
John, that is not helpful. It could be a low ceiling. That gives us no context. Come on.
You could be in the Hobbit house.
Yes. I've got very low ceilings upstairs in my house. So, there's no context in that. Anyway, we're going to play a game of Rebel in the Spotlight, which is our spin-off from Would I Lie to You? And essentially, Jennifer has allocated to John that he has to either come up with a true statement or a false statement. Me and Caroline don't know. Jennifer revels in not telling me anything. So we're very much blind to what the hell is about to happen. But John has been allocated true or false and then has had to come up with a statement based on a story, something to do with life or business experience that he has been through, witnessed, experienced, etc. We are then going to have a panel of 3 rebels who are going to quiz John and ask him questions and try and figure out if he is lying or telling the truth. If John manages to pull the wool over the eyes of the panel like he's done for the past 3 weeks, we're on week 4, right? You are our longest standing rebel in the spotlight, John. You are winning. You are absolutely smashing this out the park to the point where we're getting a bit fed up because we have to find 3 new panelists every week because this is a game of winner stays on. And so, yeah, let's see if today's panel can fool Mr. John Denley. No, other way around. John can fool the panel. Well, let's hope he doesn't because we don't want to find another panel. I'm joking. And bear with for 1 second.
So just to clarify, John might be he's got to get the panel to get it wrong, whether he's telling a true or whether he's telling a lie.
I've just seen who today's panel is, and I'm scared. I'm really scared. Before we bring out the panel, just to let you know who John is. John is a mental health fitness coach helping entrepreneurs find freedom from depression and anxiety. He has a book that he published this year, but he's published it so many times over the last year. I'm not sure, but then he has a really awesome version, the latest version out on Amazon, and it is called Create Happy Thoughts. And you can get your hands on a free PDF version at the link I am about to drop into the chat for you all. Then today we have a really fierce panelist. Last week it was all ladies. This week it is all gentlemen. First and foremost, Mr. Liam Barry, who is back again to be on the panel again. Hey, Liam, it's great to have you back with us. Liam is a specialist in client journey mapping and automating lead generation whilst eliminating tech overwhelm. And he basically helps people to create really powerful customer journeys and automate them to make the experience better, the time more efficient, and the whole thing work like a dream. You can get a demo of Liam's process and how he does this on this link that I am about to put in the chat. So if you feel like you need to improve your customer journey and also figure out how to make it better through the wonderful world of automation, then that is the link that you need. Next on the panel, we have the amazing, but really the reason why I am rather terrified, Martin Vincent. Welcome, Martin.
May I introduce Martin?
Please do.
Okay. So Martin and I have been working together recently to really hone in on what he does. And it turns out he's an absolute genius at helping business owners, wherever you are, if you exist somewhere, get clients by ranking higher on Google in your local area. So you don't need to be a local business in order to benefit from this. But if you would like to get clients more easily, then using local search terms and getting above your local competition, which might be very slim, is what Martin can help you do. And Martin is going to be creating a presentation on how you can do this yourself. He's going to go through all the steps on how you can get higher up in Google than your competitors, even if you are not a local brick and mortar business. You just have to live somewhere. That is the only that's the only requirement that we've figured out. You have to live somewhere. If you're floating about,
live and breathe. If you breathe in, you're fine.
Breathe is a good.
You have to live. You have to breathe. And if you're floating around like a cloud, it's not for you. Basically, that's the. He had to draw the line somewhere. So yes. So business owner who lives somewhere, this is really relevant and valuable for you. So Martin, do you have a link or do you have an invite or anything to get onto this presentation? Because Martin was one of our more recently found panelists, so we're not totally prepared for this. While Martin is digging that out, Cordelia, you can intro the next guest.
And the next gentleman to come and join this panel is one of my favourite photographers, Andrew Fahey. It's great to have you with us. Is this your first time on the panel or second?
Second.
Second. We're going to have to be in the spotlight soon.
He ripped Kennedy apart. I was a bit like, oh my God,
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, he was like, he grilled Kennedy. I'm like,
I was
Still managed to fool us.
yeah, told you.
Well, Andrew was previously a primary school teacher for 20 years and has been a photographer for the last 2. He's from Northumberland, but based in Loughborough, currently building a business to include repeat clients, not just one-offs, and loves to work with businesses keen on making a memorable first impression. Andrew is a brand photographer and will help you get your brand out into images, which, believe it or not, it's harder than it looks. You really do have to be very talented. And I just want to add in here that Andrew has a real love for storytelling, which probably comes from his primary school teacher days, but he is very good at combining photography with storytelling and also throws in the videography side of things too. So very, very interesting combination there for brand photography, and there is a link to his website. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Rebel and Spotlight and our panel for today. Mr. John Denley, are you ready? Are you ready? Have you got your statement to the ready?
I have.
Well, let's hear it then. Off you go.
Well, I'm going to put a fake one in at the start because I'm going to say that I
Hang
taught
on,
Russell
what?
Brunson how to solve the Rubik's Cube. No, that's not the real one. Because you were talking about Russell Brunson earlier and we're seeing him tomorrow.
Did you
He
rehearse
buy-
that?
He did buy my
You're
Rubik's
rehearsing
Cube
that.
course.
He didn't or did?
He did buy my Rubik's Cube course, just never used it. Which is really annoying. Yes.
Of course, that would have been a really good one. You should have saved that.
I've got a real. Yeah, it's all right.
That was
That's
really
all
on
right.
theme as well,
That's
seeing as we're about to
fine.
see him live.
Cool. Yes. Well, exactly. That's why I thought it would be good, this one. Anyway, the official one, this one, the official story anyway, is in 2016, I lost 2.5 stone just from walking in 40 days. Sorry, I should say.
In 2016, you lost 2.5 stone from walking, which took you 40 days.
Yeah. 2.5 stone in weight for anybody who doesn't.
2.5 stone in weight. Yeah, okay.
Oh, we have to. Oh.
Now, for everybody watching this on the live stream or indeed here on Zoom, and on the replay, because why not? We want you to get involved. You can help our panelists by putting questions in the comments or the chat, because sometimes when you're on the spot, you can't think of a good question, especially when there's loads of people watching. So please help our panelists out by dropping questions in the chat for them to come up with ideas. But also, once they have asked 2 questions each, we are going to be turning to you guys to select a question from the audience. So get your questions dropped into the chat, join in. But first, we are going to have Liam ask the first question.
Do we get any more context first, or have we?
Yeah. Thank you, Liam. Give us the context, John.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us the
I
story.
forgot
You've got
about-
to spin the yarn.
I forgot about that.
My bad.
Luckily, a couple of people have asked the questions in the chat, which will prompt the follow-up question. So yeah, in 2016, I chose to walk across the north of Spain on the Camino de Santiago, a 500-mile walk. I did it in 40 days.
But okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a whole new statement. I have walked 500 miles. Like that would have been my step. Yeah.
I didn't walk back again.
Yeah, no, so that. Yeah. So I'd walk 500 miles, but I wouldn't walk back again. Okay, cool. Right. So John has walked 500 miles.
Sorry, I can't. We need that as a sound effect. I'm going to get that as a sound effect.
What? Yeah, okay. I like it.
I'm only allowed to put that song on full blast on New Year's Eve. My family are like, "Mum, turn it off. It's not New Year's Eve." I'm like, okay. Right, anyway, Liam, what question have you got for John?
What was your diet like during the 14 days? 40 days.
Very good question. very pertinent. Well, mostly I
This is
I
very
had
serious.
I had a coffee and a croissant for breakfast, and what they have is a thing called a pilgrim meal in the evening. And most days I skip to lunch.
Okay. Martin, coming to you. Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, behave yourself. I've just worked it out. So he walked about 12 miles a day, 12 and a half miles a day, which is feasible, is okay. I've done that. So, but after the few days, your calves go. So I'm thinking, I'm not sure if this is true. Anyway, all lies again. If you start off with lies and then you just walk down, you'll be fine. Questions. Oh yes, it's a difficult one, really. So we know that the time it took is fine. So that's 12 and a half miles a day. So that's okay. I'm just trying to think of a stupid question to ask him.
Do we
Did
come
you
back?
get
Do you want me
any
to come back?
blisters?
You
Did you get any
do.
blisters at all?
Oh, blisters. Okay. Did you get any
Oh.
blisters done?
There's always going to be blisters, but mine weren't too bad compared to other people's.
Did you have you had good shoes?
Good shoes and good
Sensible shoes.
Which is
foot
suspicious because I
hygiene.
feel like it'd be very hard to get good shoes for you, you giants.
Yeah, very tall. Yes. Okay.
He's going to show us his good shoes now, Caroline. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And also, I bet it was really actually just like 13 steps.
13 steps a day for John Denley. Ba-da-bum-bum. Very good. For those of you that missed the context earlier, John is very tall. He is 6'7". Are you 6'7"? Am I making this up? You are. Okay. I know your height. That's fine. Andrew, coming to you next.
Like 40 days off from doing what you normally do. That's quite a long time, isn't it? And 2.5 stone doing 13 steps, as Caroline says, is hard to fathom, really. How did you decide that's the walk you want to do? Because I mean, my dad's done like the Highland Way and stuff like that, and I know you get various pilgrimages and the like. But to go, oh, do you know what? 2016, obviously Brexit and everything, get your last bits into Europe. I need to lose 2.5 stone walking 40 days away. Oh, I know, I'll go to Spain. So how do you actually decide to go to that particular route?
Excellent question. Well, in 2014, I was running an event in Cheltenham, and I bumped into a friend of mine who was having wine with an ex-boyfriend of hers. And we got chatting, and I was talking about how I was single and looking to meet someone. And he said to me, you should go and do the Camino. And I thought he was talking about some kind of dating app. And that was the start of it all. And I looked into it and found out about it. And apparently he'd met his girlfriend on the Camino. So I thought, great, maybe I'll meet a girl walking across Spain.
The things we'll do, eh?
And then in 2015, I met somebody at a networking meeting who said, I'm thinking of walking the Camino de Santiago. And I thought, great, I'll come with you. And it was a girl. And then she rejected me before we even took a first step.
I bet that was an awkward 13 steps.
Yeah. Didn't even get 13 steps.
Oh.
But I mean, you were adopting the strategy that Caroline was discussing in the.
I was literally about to say that. John Denley, inspiration, guys. He's creative about where he dates. I love this.
Good. Very good point. Actually, talking about blisters, I actually got a blister in the airport because we were late. We got stuck in traffic getting to the airport, and I got a blister before I'd even taken one pace on the Camino. Which is why I didn't walk the first day with that girl, and why I never saw her again for the rest of the walk.
Oh, never mind.
Right, Liam, you're next.
I'm gonna go before the walk as well.
Oh.
Tell me what was your life like in terms of how active you were in the 3 months running up to the walk.
Ooh.
So were you sedentary? Were you training for something? Were you?
I was pretty sedentary, I would say. although I did do a test walk. I talked to somebody a while beforehand, and he said, when you buy your backpack, fill it with bottles of water and then do a test walk and see how far you can go. And if it gets too heavy, you can just empty the water bottles out, and then you're not carrying your full pack weight. And that was a really, really good suggestion. I think I did about 7 miles before I phoned my dad and said, come and pick me up, I'm knackered.
Martin.
Well, how did you get 500 then? Can you make it 7?
That was practice run at home.
Oh, okay.
I imagine when you're there, it's like a different kind of, you get a different sort of.
You're with other people. It's a different.
For 3 days,
process.
maybe.
And you've got a whole day.
I think it's Jenny as well. There's another rebel who loves a walking holiday.
Yeah, actually, I met her on the first my first time on the network. So when I first joined, I was thrown into a breakout room with her, and I had no idea what I was joining. I literally just joined a Zoom call and was straight into a breakout room. It's like, what's going on? Who's invited me to this? What am I doing here? And she was the one in the breakout room.
Oh.
Can't remember her name, but that was my first experience of the Rebellious Business Network. No Cordelia.
Robin Lee Nichols, probably.
There we go. That was it. Yeah, that was her.
Martin, you're next.
Yes, I've just been doing some research. How much did it cost you in cash, John?
Another excellent question.
I've got
The actual walk itself technically doesn't cost anything, but you obviously have to pay for accommodation and food along the way. The interesting thing about the Camino, which is another good reason why it's better than other walks that Andrew was mentioning, is they have really, really good infrastructure in Spain, and you get these little albergues, these little dormitories every few miles, and they cost about €10 per night, so it's really cheap. And then that little pilgrim meal I was telling you about, it's a 3-course meal with wine and bread and dessert and everything, is usually about 10 to 15 euros as well. So it's about 20, 25 euros a day, which is very reasonable.
Plus what the deficit that you're creating from not working.
Well, I did spend the prior year figuring out, this is when I had Diary Booker, how to automate everything, get a VA and get somebody else to do everything for me for 40 days, to answer a previous question somebody was asking as well.
Okay. And the final question, Andrew.
You muted, love.
Haha.
That was a good question as well. I forgot what it was. Obviously, it's like quite a big event to go for 40 days. I was just wondering, to be continually walking, although like we're saying it's quite a manageable amount, but still over that time it's quite a challenge. What would be your advice to people that were taking that? What did you take from that you think actually other people, you need practically, this is what you need to make sure you do for if you're going to undertake such a challenge?
As well, I would say the biggest lesson I learned was don't carry too much stuff. Drop your baggage, lose your baggage, leave it behind. Travel light, carry as little as you possibly can, and that includes your emotional baggage as well.
Did you wear clothes?
Right, Martin.
Yes.
See, I warned you all. Right, so that is it. We can have one more question from the audience. Caroline, have you been keeping an eye on the chat? Have we got one in there?
I think we're good. I want to know where you did you carry camping
hang on.
stuff?
Question from the audience, isn't it? Have we got any?
I can't find any.
Let me just double check.
About the shoes. The shoes haven't walked 500 miles.
Oh yeah.
Mark Lyons is saying I can sing 500 miles as loud as I want whenever I want. Thank you. I love the support. Oh, okay. Lem has got a really great question. Did you change your diet alongside the walking?
You kind of have to, but yes. I was just eating, like I said, I was just eating coffee and croissant for breakfast most days. Skipping breakfast, skipping lunch. That was the main thing, really, I think, that made the difference.
When we haven't been focusing on the real statement, which is you lost 2.5 stone.
Yeah.
Did your
21 pounds.
trousers? Huh?
21 pounds.
2.5
Yeah.
stones, Martin.
15 kilos, thereabouts.
It's 28 pounds
Those-
plus 7, 30 something pounds.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, 20. Yes, 35 pounds. Sorry,
Yeah, 35 pounds.
that's a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caroline
big
wants to know if your
fatty.
trousers were falling down, I think.
Yeah, I know, but then I did you bring a belt? Was that should be some
Interesting. Yes, interesting question. Well, the thing is, it was completely by accident. I had no idea I was losing weight, and the reason I didn't know is because I had a belt which was like a cinchy belt, so it didn't have like holes in it.
right.
So when I was putting it, and it was about
How convenient, John. How convenient.
exactly. And when we were about 30 days in, somebody said to me, "Have you lost any weight?" And I was like, "I have no idea." And then I had to go and find a weighing scales. Now, here's an interesting question. I went to Spain, of course, got on a weighing scales, and of course, it gave it me in kilograms, and I had no idea what kilograms were as far as weight is concerned. So I still had no idea if I'd lost any weight or not.
And you couldn't do like a conversion. Simple Google.
You could, but in 2016, we didn't have European roaming as much as we do now, because it was like just before it switched over. So you then had to go and find a coffee shop where you could do like your internet stuff.
Okay.
I
And
don't
not all,
think this is fair
not
on
all
the
coffee
panel.
shops
I
had
think you're
Wi-Fi.
just giving yourself away there, John. You definitely had roaming in 2016. 100% you've had roaming
You
in
can never
2016.
tell with John, right? I think I'm yeah,
He's too
okay.
good at this. Be warned, panel. He is very good at this. So I'm going to set the timer. You guys have 2 minutes and no more than 2 minutes because we are already over time. 2 minutes to come up with a unanimous decision. I don't think you're going to need 2 minutes, but maybe you are. You just never know.
I think we know Martin's side already.
We know that Martin thinks he's lying because Martin thinks everybody's lying. You might need to spend the 2 minutes persuading Martin to think the same thing as you. That might be what happens, but let's find out. Me, Caroline and John are going to leave the screen, leave you to it, and we will see you in 2 minutes. Too many buttons to press.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right.
Remove and on your
Doesn't help.
marks.
Bye-bye.
Get set. Go.
Well, it's what do you think? Yes, that thing about roaming, Liam probably just tripped him up a little bit. I think he was there. I think he was. He did the walk because I've just looked on the map and how long it takes. Although he could have done that via.
Yeah, I think he's done a bit of the walk and then exaggerated the story.
Yeah,
and also 16.5 kilos, 35 pounds in 40 days.
You're going to notice it, aren't you? I mean,
yeah.
No matter what, like a belt or anything like that, you're going to notice 2.5 stone.
His clothes would just hang off him, won't they? It'd be dragging along the ground. Also, if you've walked that far, 12 miles a day, if you've not walked before, it does your casting. It kills you.
Yeah,
First day, it'd be out of it.
I did a Great North Run once, twice, and I had to do quite a bit of training for it. And I'd gone for like a light jogging, and it's a massive uphill thing.
It's massive. Yeah, hills kill your cars. I used to guide walks around here, and you do it for about 12 miles, and you're done for the day. Next day, you can't even move. So 40 days, all that. No, I think you did part of the walk. Yes,
there's elements of truth, but I think there's that the advice of leave everything, carry light. But how do you survive for 40 days? You still need a change of clothes. You need your toiletries. You need some grub as well along the way. So I think elements of truth, but
he'd be starving himself if he didn't have that. I mean, if you do that sort of work,
2.5 stone.
Eat like butter for a week, and you still lose weight because it's up and down hills, So
are we saying lies then? Are we?
We're saying big fat
I think so.
lie.
Well, a slightly 2.5 stone less lie.
Yeah, not a big fat lie, a 2.5 stone lie.
Okay. Well, there we go. That is time up. I can't find any of us on. Oh, there we go.
Well, I'm here.
Help! Allow me.
Oh yeah.
I can't find any of us either.
Hello. allow me. That was it is literally, I want, right, I'm just going to put this out there that very soon I am going to have, Caroline, this is gonna be a thing
sentence.
that we buy. I want one of those boards that I can press buttons
Oh,
and it
yeah.
just does things. I need that in my life. It's coming soon to Zoom.
What do I want? I don't know. Anyway,
The new Remarkable.
I do.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen. Right, John, are you ready
Yeah.
for this? You know the drill. I'm going to
Yeah.
press a button and then you're going to wait until that button has been pressed and then you're going to do a big reveal. Button being pressed now.
It's true.
Oh, I mean, I knew that because I know that you've done this, and
I thought it seemed very truthful, guys. I hope it wasn't Martin that.
It was the distance. 40. It's a long way, you know, to walk. It is.
Yeah.
I even wrote a short story about it and became a #1 published author as the result. #1 best-selling author.
That would have been a really good. Oh, I suppose you could easily Google that, couldn't
Like,
you?
how many could you do exactly?
But
Wow.
the 2 stones or 2.5 stones is true.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice it at all. But I do have a
Also-
photograph. I was just trying to find a photograph of me from right at the end, and you're absolutely right. I did look like a bag of bones at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm rubbish at this.
Can't believe it.
Guys,
I was like, there's so much evidence out there online that I did this, and so many people know about it, and I've talked about it. So I even did a tour of England doing networking events talking about it.
John, were you trying your hardest to get out of coming on again? Is that what was happening?
I think the roaming thing is just that I think it was more expensive, or my provider at the time didn't have it or something. I don't know what it was, or it was just expensive. Might have just been too really expensive.
Yeah.
John, you are literally the champion of this game. You are our crowning champion. You have won 4 consecutive spotlights.
Well, I'm glad I didn't mention the other story that I've got then, so because that was going to have to be next week, isn't it?
Go.
There'll be lies that time.
Well, I don't get to choose. Jennifer,
I'm choosing it. I said it could be a load.
Yeah, we know. You've said every time, Martin. To be fair, he has been right.
Martin. There's trust
Clock's
issues
right.
there.
Clock's right twice a day, isn't it, Martin? That's what your strategy is.
packing picture there.
Martin's verging on paranoid, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and
no, I'm joking, Martin. We love you.
And yes, on the what you carry stuff, I had about 15 kilos when I started, and after 3 days, I dropped about 5.5 kilos of that weight because there was just stuff I didn't need. You basically just need 2 sets of clothes, and that's it. And you rotate it every single day. So you do the walk, and then 4 o'clock in the evening, you go and have a shower, and you put your clothes on for the next day, and then that's it. And then you put it out to dry, and then it dries, and you put it back in the back the next day, and that's it. You're done.
Well done, John.
And I think on about day 30, I actually walked 37 miles. So I basically just said, I'm going to walk until I get knackered. And I got knackered at about 30 miles.
You're trying to catch up with the girl, be honest.
I was trying to catch up with the girl. You're quite right.
I knew it. I know this man really well. That's
the main part of the story, Chance encountering here. Although I hadn't met Chance at that point. It was as a result of trying to catch up with that girl that I then got shin splints, which I then meant the girl called Chance, which then was the rest of the story. Anyway. I'm now writing a novel version of it, by the way, a full-length novel version of it.
Nice.
Maybe. Sounds like a really good time.
Yeah.
Well,
Thoroughly
thank you very
recommend
much,
it.
John. But we are very much over time, and we need to let all these rebels get back to work.
These are my replacement boots as well, by the way.
Yeah, I did think it probably wasn't those exact.
I do have some older ones that are very worn through now, or somewhere else. Because I also
What size are they, John? 85s?
No, I've got
Right.
I've got very
You
tiny
guys.
feet, 10.5. And I also have peripheral neuralgia, so I can't feel the end of my toes, which is also why the blisters wasn't a problem.
Okay, Caroline, I'm just going to take over here and tell you to wrap this up.
All right, guys, this has been fabulous. Don't forget, the one thing I didn't actually talk about is next week we have the Rebellious Business Networking event, and you guys need to join. We set you missions, we help you have fun, and we have games, we have prizes. We create an environment that is about bringing people together. We'd love to have you there, but give our rebels a round of applause, and we will see you next week on the Rebellious Business Show. Hope to see all of you back again. And if you want to be on the panel, please let us know.
But you have to be part of the Rebels Business Tribe
Yes.
in order to be on the panel. So
Yes.
if you're in the Rebels Business Tribe and you want to be on the panel, please reach out to us because there are 3 spaces for next week. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry, Liam. Sorry, Martin. You guys have been bamboozled.
Have a wonderful week and see you guys soon.
That's it.